Good morning and welcome back to the Hadrian's Wall path. This is part 3 and we started in Chollerford, which is a small village just behind me by the bridge over there, and we're going to be doing about, I think it's 11 miles to a place called Brewed, and that is right in the middle of Steel Rigg, which is one of the most famous sections of Hadrian's Wall. We're actually taking a little bit of a detour at the moment to come and check out the ruins of a Roman bridge. Really excited to see it, and it seems to be just along this rather straight trackway. That's Ali and Nick way in front. Alice has done the last 2 days with me, Nick is doing the next 2 days with us before we finish it over in Cumbria. Really excited about today because this is going to be some of the best scenery, as well as tomorrow, and some of the best ruins that we're going to see on the whole trail, so we are very excited. So we just arrived here at the ruins of the Roman bridge and it is absolutely phenomenal. So this is the second Roman bridge that was here at Chester's Roman fort. I believe there was a footbridge probably made out of wood or something like that just slightly further down, and then they replaced it with a stone one that could take horse and cart. And what's incredible is some of these blocks are several tons each, I think, and they actually used a crane to crane them into place. Absolutely amazing considering they built this in 160 AD. So we just arrived at turret 29A, which is called Black Carts, and it's actually quite an extensive ruin. It's pretty cool, and there's an information board showing exactly what it would have looked like inside. And it was built in 122 AD, so really early. And what's really interesting about these towers and the forts along here is that they were all built before the wall. So the tower, along with a small section of wall, was built first, and then the rest of the wall was built afterwards. And you can clearly see here where the original plan was the wall to be 3 meters wide, and they changed to 1.8 meters just here. So we've just reached this trig point here at 250 meters above sea level. So we've actually gained, I think, about 200 meters since Chollerford, and the views have really opened up. Check out this view north. I think, I've never been here before, but I think it could be the Cheviot Hills way over in the background. And due north of here, there's a place called Chipchase Castle, and there's actually a really good view. If you've got some binoculars or a good zoom, you can zoom right in and see it. And that's a 14th century tower with a 17th century house attached. It's a scheduled ancient monument and grade 1 listed building, and there's a little chapel next door as well. Absolutely stunning up here. So we've just arrived here at the Temple of Mithras, and there's a lovely information board showing exactly what this place would have looked like when it was built in 200 AD. Sadly, this building only lasted about 150 years before it was destroyed, and it does say that there were only a few of these temples around where people worshipped. So the temple actually sits right next to a Roman fort, which you can see the earthworks just up here behind me. And this Roman fort hasn't been excavated, and it's called what we think is Broccolitia or something like that. I'm not very good at pronouncing Latin names, but I'm very much aware that there are some better Roman forts that we can see that have been excavated further along the trail. So we finally met the point where the road veers away. We've done about 8.5 miles, I think, so far today. So it's a bit longer than I was expecting before we got to this point. I thought it was only going to be about 6 or 7. But finally, so we are heading away from the road. That's going off in that direction, and we're starting to head up on towards Steel Rigg, which is going to be some of the best sections of the entire route. And the weather is holding, although I have just spotted some rather grey clouds. We're going to stop for some lunch very soon and continue our walk along over the crags. I'm so excited. So not long left the road, it is just over there behind me, and I've stopped here mainly to have lunch, but also because just down in the moorland over here there's actually the site of a ring and bailey, and they are Norman ringworks, so an old castle potentially. I can't really find any history on it, but usually they date to about the 11th or 12th century and would have generally had like a wooden palisade around, maybe a wooden tower, and its location would definitely monitor a vast section of the countryside here. So just a few hundred metres or so from the Ring and Bailey, and we've come across Grindon turret, which is turret 34A, and it says that they had 2 turrets between every mile castle, and a Roman mile was 1.48 kilometres, so a little bit shorter than our miles, but nice information board showing exactly what this one would have looked like. And this is where things really start to get interesting, because we're starting to gain some height. The views ahead are really starting to open out, and I think when we get behind this nice big clump of trees ahead and up onto the first summit, we'll have some of the best views that we've had on the whole trail so far. We've joined an awesome long section of wall now as it just climbs its way up to the hilltop, and I've stopped here because I'm pretty sure, if I crouch down, this thing here predates the wall, and this is actually a kist burial, and I think it's prehistoric, and it would have been lined all the way around with capstones along the top. So either the Romans found it, left it, built the wall alongside, or it's post-Roman. I can't remember exactly when it dates to, but I thought it was prehistoric. But anyway, we're going to continue along this awesome section of wall up to the summit. Just beyond that kist burial actually is Sowing Shields Mile Castle number 35, with another information board down here. And this one is quite unique because it didn't provide a gateway through to the frontier. It actually only had a gate on the Roman side, whereas apparently all the other ones did have gateways going through. And it was a tall outer wall all the way round, and then there were houses and stuff inside. And just over here on the floor is marked that this is with a hearth, and then there was a few ovens across the way as well. This one's probably the most complete mile castle that we have come across so far. So just up there is the 325 metre summit of Sowing Shield Crags, and there's some amazing sections of wall there, but I've come just into the wind a little bit because looking west from here, just down from the summit, is absolutely spectacular. Let me show you this view over here. Amazing. So we're following this awesome bit of ridge. The views are outstanding on both sides. There's bits of exposed wall as we go. It's so wonderful, and I'm pretty sure over there in the distance, I think I can see Great Dunnerfell and Crossfell. Certainly looks like there's some kind of observatory on the top of one of the peaks, and I didn't realise we were so close to it. I'll have to check it, but I'm pretty sure it is. Just up on the top of the hill here is Housesteads Roman Fort, and I believe it's owned and managed by the National Trust alongside English Heritage. But below it is actually Nagburn Gate, and it was a way through Hadrian's wall, and I believe armies used this gate to proceed north of the wall, but there's actually a fair amount remaining. Let me go around this side and I can show you. Chuck those on the floor. You had two towers, one here, one the other side, with a nice big arch in the middle and very well defended, especially next to the fort as well. So as we're all National Trust members, we've actually nipped in to have a look at Housesteads Roman fort, and it is incredible to have a wander around here for free. Like, so much of the fort has been excavated. There's information boards everywhere. Look, a random base of a pillar. An amazing view looking south. It's just incredible here. So we're almost at the end of today's walk, and I'm going to admit we're all really tired. I think it's about 6 o'clock. It's quite late. Nice view down to the right over there. We've got just a few more crags kind of to walk over before we get down to the car park at Steel Rigg. It's been such an awesome day. We've seen so much of the wall, which has been lovely. Forecast was a mixture. It was supposed to be maybe a few showers and stuff, but I've got the waterproofs on because they keep coming and going, but they only last for a minute and then they're gone. And so we're nearly done. A lot further than we anticipated. We're at about 13 miles now, and I thought it was going to be about 11. So not too bad, we're still okay. But we're nearly there. Just arrived at somewhere I have wanted to visit for so many years. This is Sycamore Gap, and it was made famous by, I think, the Robin Hood films, wasn't it? I'm sure it featured in there. But of course, as the name would suggest, it's a sycamore tree in the gap, and it's also surrounded by so many Roman walls. It's just incredible. Can't wait to get down and have a proper look around. So we just went over to the viewpoint at Sycamore Gap as well. We had to, as we were here. Oh, I felt like so much unnecessary energy spent, but actually it was really worth it. It was so nice to see. And this is, oh wow, my old castle literally just popped out of nowhere. Look at this. Incredible. It's just such an iconic place at Sycamore Gap. So let's have a look at this awesome Mile castle that's down here now, before heading up again onto Steel Rigg. And this section is a real thigh burner after walking like 13 odd miles here.